Alright guys, here's the trading recap for Monday, February 6, 2023. So today we were kind of range bound. We consolidated a lot. We were having a lot of choppy price action. So I was really careful to only take trades that I was confident in. This is kind of typical behavior after you have a gap up or a gap down. So I wasn't surprised by this at all. And what I did is I took 4 trades today. So I took 2 on Robinhood and 2 on Webull. So I was 4 out of 4 on those. Ended up finishing up looks like 4.68% on Robinhood, 4.15% on Webull, and then I took a couple of paper trades for fun, and then obviously I sized higher than normal. You can see by this result, 47.5%. So I'll walk you through all those trades, even the paper trade ones, just why not. But first, let me show you what I did pre-market. So I drew my pre-market low key level, my pre-market high key level, and then the only zone that really came into play today was this zone that I drew from yesterday, low of day. So if I go to the 15-minute chart, you can see I drew that from these candle wicks to the candle bodies here, and that was actually what ended up being our high of day resistance. So I'm going to start the price action and get right into it. So let's start at pre-market here, and then I'll kind of narrate. And then also before I start, I did grab some, because we had some gaps between fib levels. I went back a couple of days and grabbed some intraday supports and resistances that I could use, because typically when we have these low volume chop days, those resistances can play out very well because we're kind of just like algo trading with low volume, so very technical. So let's start here. Get a buy signal, but it's pre-market. Regardless, the next candle is a huge bullish engulfing candle. We reject off of that resistance that I drew from a couple of days ago. Find some support on VWAP, but we continue to dump. Right now I'm just watching price action, trying to get an understanding of what's happening, because this is really indecisive. You can see that this fib level is providing really strong support though. You can see how we're wicking off of it several times. And this is where I took my first trade. So this was an extremely bearish candle for several reasons. So this bearish candle was an engulfing candle. It almost encompassed the entire range of the day. It essentially did, off by a few cents from open. And then it blew through 2 fib levels, an intraday level, all my EMAs and VWAP, and then closed below all of them. So while we didn't have the bearish non-EMA, we didn't have the red MACD, so I maybe wouldn't consider it an A setup. I was still super confident in this one, so I hopped in puts, just looking to scalp to the next intraday support. Hopped in those, took my profit there, and it continued running even a little bit after that. And so that was my first trade. And then I actually took my second trade right after because I saw my indicator gave me a sell signal, and I really liked this increasing volume profile on the sells. So I hopped in puts here, scalping to my next level, which is just that support level right there, and then I took profits there as well. So that was my second trade, and that one ended up running all the way down to pre-market low, and then wicking off of a couple more fibs, and then forming this bullish reversal candle, this hammer right here. So after that, my third trade comes pretty shortly after. You can see this huge bullish engulfing candle, which was very similar to this bearish candle, just the inverse. But this time we had that crossover about to happen, and we had a huge increase in volume. So I really like this for a bullish entry. So I entered calls right here, and I was looking to get to that next fib level if we can crack this intraday resistance right here. Okay, and I end up taking my profits right there, and this actually ends up running all the way to the 200 EMA. And I was confused, that was a really huge move, but in retrospect, it was also kind of a cup and handle pattern, which I didn't notice until afterwards. But that was my third trade. Here I started to notice that SPY was looking a little top heavy. We had 4 rejections of the 200 EMA, and then we also had an overhead supply zone, coupled with a fib level, which we rejected twice, so we're looking kind of heavy. Okay, so at this point, what I'm really looking for is I'm starting to look more on the bearish side after this pullback, especially after this large candle right here. So what I'm looking for is a close below this really strong support. Now I call this a strong support because VWAP, and it's also coupled with a fib level. So if we close below there, I'm looking to enter puts and then looking to scalp to the next intraday support. You can also see we got a red MACD crossover here. Still waiting for that confirmation, and that was my confirmation. So I entered right there, just looking to scalp to the next level. Also had increasing volume on that engulfing candle. Ended up tagging the next fib level and then bouncing. So now I'm 4 out of 4, I'm done. I'm up 4% on my account, so now I'm just switching to paper trading, and it's around noon right now. Okay, so we test the fib level again and bounce. You can see these levels are pretty clean, how we're wicking off of them. Again, we test, kind of drop below, pull back up. This was a really bearish candle, but then it ended up being a bullish hammer. Very interesting price action. Kind of tough to trade, honestly, if you're not a scalper. Man, we keep retesting this this support right here. So we're trading in a channel for a while. Okay, we finally break through here. Reject this fill level twice. Reject the 200. It was actually a pretty bullish move, but I was not in that. Again, we reject the supply zone. This is almost like a double top here. We reject the supply zone twice. And then I'm starting to look really bearish again, right? So you're getting this, I wouldn't, when you have like equal sized bodies like this, it's kind of like a bearish formation. So it's not a tweezer top, but it's a similar concept. And so now what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for consolidation here. Now I'm looking for a close below the VWAP on this level again. As you can see, every time we've done that, we've kind of pulled down to this resistance, or this support 3 times. So I wanted to enter puts if we could follow through again. And I really liked how we were kind of forming a flag as well. So you can see here, I'm starting to notice that we kind of had a flag pattern here. And then it's kind of ugly, but once I got a close below there, I was going to enter some puts. So I hopped in right there, and I was just looking to take it to the next fib level since I got in kind of late. Took my puts right there. And then that was the first paper trade. Okay, and then the second trade, I was looking to take calls from here to here. You can see that we had this huge uptick in volume. We had that crossover. So just hopped in calls, just looking to scalp to the next level. Actually, I don't even think I took that trade. Alright, well, I took too many trades. That's on my Twitter. I called both the paper trades out, but in my mind, I guess when you take too many trades, you start forgetting where you took them. But yeah, so those were my trades, and hopefully that was helpful for you guys. It was a tough day to trade, but we were successful. So.